that the UN would actually be commemorating this day. Talk to us, I guess, about your thoughts on this day when you found out about it.
Well, when I read you just read part of the definition.
Yes.
But when I read the definition, I was like, wow, they're on point in terms of explaining what this thing called Islamophobia is. And, it's as it started off, it's a fear, it's a hatred, it's a prejudice. And it really places a strain, a burden on you, the Muslim, because you have to now be always aware that somebody may hate you or fear you for no reason, mostly of your doing, right? And as you were saying before the show started, unfortunately the media got all wrapped into this whole Islamophobia. So in the reporting of incidents of crime, you will hear Muslim man or Muslim woman or Muslim, as opposed to just dealing with the crime or the issue, right? And that really, really is burdensome.
Right. Let's backtrack a bit because we'll definitely unpack that.
Yeah.
What does it mean to be Islamic? And I guess what it means for you to be Islamic?
So I wasn't born into a Muslim family.
Okay.
Right. I grew up as a Christian, as an Anglican, and this is not about comparing. This is just my experience.
Your reality.
Yeah,
yes.
my reality. And becoming Muslim, for me, I have felt fulfilled. Now, if you ask a Christian or a Baptist or a Rasta, they may say the same thing about their faith, but
again,
that's
their
how
reality.
Yeah, that's how I felt. There are challenges with the humans within Islam, because Islam is a perfect way of life. It's a system. It's a very perfect way of life. But we, as the individuals, the humans, we are imperfect. So some of the same challenges we'll face in society, right? People may want to say, no, you don't have that in Islam, which is racism.
Right.
But we behave in that way at times to each other, right? But overall, like my wife and I, we always say, if we didn't believe in this, we probably would have run from it. Because you have your challenges, then you have Islamophobia, then you always have to be trying to define and prove yourself. I am not a criminal, or I am not a terrorist, or I am not, as opposed to I am.
Okay.
We always have to be fighting to say we are not. But outside of that, I feel very comfortable. I enjoy being a Muslim. Ramadan is coming up sometime next week, so we're looking forward to that fast that has come so natural to us over the years.
Right.
So I am comfortable. I am really comfortable as a Muslim.
Right. As you explained, and in every sect in society, there are extremists. There are devout and then there are extremists. Talk to us about that, because we've seen that play out in the world, and then we've seen that play out at home as well too. And because of that, because of maybe one group or one sector within the religion, discrimination is now experienced throughout.
And going back again, let's look at the crime situation, right? And many years ago we heard, now gang culture is not new to Trinidad and Tobago, right? We have gang culture a long, long time. What we have a problem with now is the proliferation of guns, drugs, right, which go hand in hand.
Yes.
And the gang culture has become a little more violent, right? Now, we have young men calling themselves Rasta or Muslim. And, I want to say this before I really delve into that. I blame the Muslim community for not addressing that issue when young men started to call themselves Muslim or Muslim City or whatever.
Right, in terms of the gangs.
Yeah, they took a hands-off approach.
Okay.
I was saying, if these guys identifying themselves as Muslim, we should engage them to let them know, hey, this is what Islam is about.
Okay.
It's not about selling drugs. It's not about robbing people. It's not about taking tax and all the criminal elements.
Okay.
So when these young men engage in these activities, and the Muslims, the adherents of the faith, not engaging them, right? We take a hands-off approach. What do you expect you, as a citizen of this country, a non-Muslim, to say when you're seeing that type of behavior, right? It's not right, but you will associate that with Islam.
Right, and that does not represent
No,
Islam.
right? So those things, as I say, I blame us for allowing that, because we should be engaging those young men.
Right.
Now they move from Rasta and Muslim to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? But we have been, as I say, faced with this challenge of that type of violent, extreme behavior. Right? Now, I am very cautious when we kind of talk about violent extremism, because when I say violent extremism, globally, you have a kind of Muslim look on it. Right?
Yeah.
But when they stormed the Capitol in D.C., that is violent extremism, you know.
Right.
But we didn't hear all the clamor and clap. But hey, you know.
It wasn't linked to a religion or faith, or
It was the exercising their democratic rights.
Right.
Right? But that behavior was a violent, extremist behavior. Right? So when we talk about violent extremism, we need to really address what that means outside of the context that, hey, it's a Muslim thing. Because it's not a Muslim thing. Just like as we were saying earlier, domestic violence, crime, these things are human problems.
Right.
That because of Islamophobia, we attach that little Muslim brand on it. So whether it's what happened in 90, but then something happened in 70, right? Are the two the same? Or just because in 90 was Muslims and in 70 was what we call the Black Power Revolution, or the case may be. So, and this is not to justify either 90 or 70, because that's not the discussion, but that's just the lens we look at these things that, you know. I remember a member of law enforcement, we were talking, and he told me that, no, he ascribed his faith to be a Jew. He's a Jew.
Okay.
That's what he says, right? And he was telling me, I was very much surprised. He said that he got so engulfed in this whole Israel-Palestine issue that he and his wife were deciding to migrate to go and fight. Is that an extremist? And you know, I'm listening to this law enforcement person speaking to me, and you know, and we were talking, and he's saying that, you know, after he said that we do some more research, he realized that, hey, he got brainwashed into that whole, you know, Israel-Palestine situation. I have heard non-Muslims say to me in conversation, boy, they should kill out all the Muslims and them. I open my eyes wide, I say, wow. At one point, I tell myself, probably they forgot they're talking to Mtima, the Muslim.
Right.
And just say, this Mtima, we talking. That thought is not a violent extremist thought. So we really have to be careful how we unpack this term violent extremism, especially when we want to put a handle onto it.
Yes.
It's not a Muslim issue, it's a human
issue.
problem.
Talk to us about that lens with which we look at the religion. There are positives in the religion. There are things that we can admire. Talk to us about that in terms of the discipline, the commitment. Talk to us about those values.
So, last year, a group of brothers, we held an event called Emancipation Through Islam.
Okay.
I was interviewed right here by Andy about that program. And what was that? We were celebrating the achievements of African Muslims.
Okay.
Up to yesterday, I was telling a brother, I say, I tired see the image of us in a handcuff on the ground line now.
Yeah.
You know, on Beyond the Tape, on the Crime Watch, you know, always been fingered as that's the bad guy. But when we started that program, Dominique, I was surprised of the amount of achievements, and not in this era, going back to Muhammad Yunus Bath, right? Those who enslaved and brought here and the contributions they made, being an enslaved human being, the contributions they made, and coming all the way down. And I say, wow, how, even being an African Muslim, I didn't know about these things.
Okay.
So they are so, listen, and doing that exercise last year, we are supposed to have it again this year. I felt even more proud to be a Muslim. Because I say, wow, hello, not just brothers, because we always feel the men, women doing so much great things as Muslims, right? It is amazing. So, yes, these are things to celebrate, these are things I feel proud of, but again, it has been so overshadowed by the negatives. Right? Let me give this quick story. Sure. When I now embrace Islam, we were doing some work on the Diego Martin Maxi stand.
Okay.
We were building it. I was part of that team. And during the break time now, all the workers, they sit down, who drinking, they're eating the food, who smoking, whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
And I seen this old lady trying to fill a bottle, a gelita bottle, by a pipe.
Okay.
And she having so much trouble to fill it, and everybody there sitting there, and I said, no. So I got up. I said, Tanti, give me a bottle. And I filled the bottle for her. And I handed it to her. And Tanti said, oh, thank you, son. I know there must be a Christian in the group. And I said, no, I now became Muslim. So I'm proud. I said, no, Tanti, I'm a Muslim. And the fear that overtook that granny, in her trying to pull away from me, she almost fell down. And I say, it's the same individual. It's the same individual. All I said that, no, I'm not a Christian, I'm a Muslim.
Different faith.
How would that change?
Based on that, what is the message that you would want to drive home locally concerning, the Muslims and concerning the Islamic faith?
I want us as a society to, well, as always say this publicly, first be honest with ourselves. That's the first thing. And you give that Muslim a chance. You may know this person for years, and I like this person, he's a good person. As soon as you hear he's a Muslim, everything about that person change. So you have to do a lot of work on yourself, because your perception of me has nothing to do with me. That's your perception. That's how you think about me, and you have to work on that. And trust me, yes, we have challenges. I saw your interview before. You have challenges in the schools.
Yes.
Is that a Muslim thing? We have challenges all over. So don't use, it might be hard to swallow this, but please don't use one bad experience to broad brush an entire faith, right? Because I've encountered bad experiences with a lot of non-Muslims, and I don't say all of all is that, or all of you all are this. I say that individual is a fool.
Just before we wrap up, we have to talk about Roots Foundation.
Yes.
Talk to us about Roots Foundation and the work that you're doing in the community amongst the youth.
So, well, we do a lot of work, but one of our main things is using that oral tradition, that spoken word poetry, to have young people express themselves and to share their lived experiences and social realities. Because a lot of young people, they have things to say, they may not know how to put it across. Right? And we give them that platform. We are not the only one, because I heard they mentioned some of the runners in your last interview. But what makes our program, I think, and I believe unique, is that we focus on first that expression.
Okay.
Because you know about poetry, you're in the scene. But we don't start off with getting the similes and the metaphors and all the literary devices intact. We want to hear how you feel it.
Your story.
Yeah. And then we could shape it.
Right.
But giving those young people that opportunity to speak and see how they feel, you know, it's really powerful.
Okay.
And our programs has been expanded, so we do media. We involve in festivals, as you would know.
Yes.
It's coming up soon, our Cascadu Festival. But as I say, we create that platform for them to just share.
Right. If persons want to find out more about the Roots Foundation, where can they find you or get in contact with you?
Well, we're on the social media handles, like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. But it's easier to find us on Facebook.
Right.
Right? And then from there, you could branch off to the other handles.
Okay.
If you want to contact, well, I put out my number, it's not a private number, 479-4510, 479-4510. And yeah, let's talk.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mtima, for
Thank you
joining
very
us
much.
today. We appreciate you. Have a great day. We take a short break. When we come back, we have a lot more in store. Stay with us.